These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
I'm Craig McKee with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. ABC15 investigators continues to track a major story as we await an outcome from the sentencing hearing of Stephanie Hockridge. She is a former ABC15 news anchor and is scheduled to be sentenced in a federal wire fraud case. She co-founded a company alongside her husband that helped people get PPP loans during COVID. Prosecutors say she was involved in a scheme to get people loans who didn't qualify. Prosecutors estimate losses could be as high as nearly $200 million in this case. ABC15 senior investigator Melissa Blasius is in Texas for the sentencing. Arizona's Attorney General is asking the state's highest court to review a decision that stalled a fake elector case. The case alleges President Donald Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, as well as others, tried to overturn the president's 2020 election loss here in Arizona. Now, AG Mays is asking the Arizona Supreme Court to review a lower court's ruling that sent the case back to a grand jury. In a statement, Mays said in part, an independent grand jury of ordinary Arizonans found that there was sufficient cause to charge the defendants with the alleged crimes. These defendants were charged based on two things, the facts and the law. We remain squarely focused on ensuring the defendants are held accountable because there is nothing more important than enforcing the rule of law. Senator Ruben Gallego is leading a push for more wildfire recovery funding on federal lands. The Arizona Democrat and 9 colleagues want Congress to include money for national parks and forests in emergency disaster bills. Nearly 1 million acres of federal land burned across the West this year. That includes the Dragon Bravo fire. Unlike private lands, federal agencies must pay for their own cleanup since FEMA doesn't cover federal property. Securing Arizona's water future in tonight's Running Dry, Central Arizona Project and Salt River Project, the state's biggest water sources, are looking to connect in a new way. It's a massive project being proposed. CAP supplies 80% of Arizonans with water from the Colorado River. The system stretches from Lake Havasu City to the valley and down to Tucson. SRP manages 1,300 miles of canals from the Salt and Verde rivers that supply water to the valley. An earlier project completed in the 90s between the two water utilities allows CAP to deliver water to the SRP system. Well, the new pump and pipe system out near Granite Reef Dam is going to reverse all of that, allowing a two-way system for SRP and CAP to share water. So why is this important?
Groundwater, we treat it kind of like a savings account, and once we utilize the groundwater, it's no longer in use. Surface water is based on hydrology, so we have wet and dry years, so we have to plan for those, and so it would enable those users that have that surface water and groundwater in our service territory to be able to utilize that and be able to access that water.
Right now, an estimated cost of $250 million. CAP and SRP are partnering up with 13 municipalities to fund the project, which will be a game changer to keep Arizona from running dry. Here's a look at Snowbowl. You know, today was supposed to be opening day at Snowbowl, but after getting that 37 inches of snow this week, well, they decided to open the lifts, of course, yesterday afternoon. They were packed, and they made the call to get people in the powder for a half day of skiing. Snowbowl said the conditions were just too good.
After all the snow that we've seen the past couple of days, how would you describe conditions there this morning?
We have received 37 inches of snowfall since Sunday. To receive over 3 feet of snow on opening week is amazing, right? Conditions truly couldn't be better.
Even though the resort opened early, they still went on with their opening day party today. They served up donuts, cocoa, coffee, and live music to start the season off just right. We have everything you need to know, including a way to make sure your kids hit the slopes for free. It's at ABC15.com.
Tracking your weekend forecast, I'm meteorologist Justin Hobbs getting ready for storm number 3 set to impact us as we head into the weekend. Now, as we're getting you started for your Saturday morning, things are pretty quiet here in the valley, just dealing with clouds through the first half of the day. 55 to start the morning out, warming to 67 by noon. As we get into the afternoon, though, rain chances are going to be increasing, so make sure you have that umbrella handy, especially after the lunch hour. 71 for a high for us here in the city. Meanwhile, as across the rest of the state, we'll see temperatures dipping down into the 20s and 30s there from Flagstaff Flagstaff to Winslow, 40s for Sedona and Payson, mid to low 50s in western Arizona. We'll stay around those upper 60s to low 70s across the lower desert for our Saturday. The high country anywhere from those 40s in Flagstaff, 50s from Winslow and Heber, 60s in Payson and Sedona. We'll continue to see those rain chances lingering through Saturday night and into our Sunday morning before drying out late Sunday. 65 for a high on Sunday. And then as we're heading into your Thanksgiving week forecast, nice and dry and rebounding back into the 70s by Tuesday.